everybody, we're live. Oh my God, I am so excited. I am so excited. I will have to put the description in afterwards. I can see myself and I can hear myself. Hold on, sorry. Okay, um, I haven't got a clue where I can. Yeah, of course I can see myself also in Zoom. There you go. Oh my God, today is a day of technology, which scares me, but I've worked up the courage that I'm gonna do it. So I figured out how to do this in Facebook in my group, and now I'm on YouTube. Yay! Talk about self-empowerment. Yeah. And that's the topic for today, self-empowerment. And especially for empaths. Okay, so it's good for everybody because to a certain degree we all take on energy from outside, um, just in greater or lesser degrees, really. But for empaths, that's really amplified. When you don't know how to shield yourself, or you don't want to shut yourself down completely so you don't feel nothing at all. Because you don't want to do that, okay? You still want to have the happy vibes that come in, the love, the joy, the peace, right? Like when you're in a group and you're doing a group meditation and and that is a really powerful mass conscious energy there in that group. Um, you don't want to shut that out. Okay. But when you are in an airport and you've got long queues and everybody's really pissed off and children are screaming and crying and whining and you feel uncomfortable because you're standing there and it's hardly moving forward, whatever else, and everybody around you is kind of stressed and tense and impatient. Um, that's a good point when it's good to shout out the negative stuff, right? Because if you're completely unaware of what's happening and you don't even know you're an empath, or you haven't got a clue about how energy works, put myself more in the middle there. Sorry. If you don't know about this, you will react to these energies thinking they are your own. Those emotions are yours. Okay. And you might be having your earphones on and headphones on and listen to a really nice audiobook or happy music, and you're kind of thinking about a wonderful memory of your children, something like that, something that makes you really happy. And all of a sudden you feel like, it's just like my mood is going down, everything, and you think like, oh yeah, of course, because I'm waiting here and it's uncomfortable and kind of thing. And, it might be to a certain degree, but really, it's when you learn, when you're aware of what's happening, that you are more like a sponge and taking on the emotions of everybody else around you and the energies, right? Um, then you can actually take steps to shield yourself from those negative emotions, become more emotionally resilient yourself, still let in all the good stuff, because we want to share our joy, right? But not the negative stuff. So, what you want to do is learn various techniques on how to do that, and then have several tools that you can practice for a while and then see what works best for you. And that might also vary from one situation to another because, duh. We're all different, we're different individuals, and there's no one size fits all. Okay. And certain techniques are brilliant when you can do them in private, but that's not going to work in a crowd. Um, you might not be able to sit down on the floor in a long queue and just go like, oh, meditate or something like that. But you can do it up front when you know, I'm going to go to the airport. So, I want to get my nervous system calm and be in the best place, energy wise and emotion wise, to be able to go forward and do this in a calm and peaceful manner without getting stressed and impatient, and all the rest of it. Um, but if you find yourself in the middle of a situation that you hadn't actually prepared for before, like you might have had an appointment in town with your, like, take me with your physiotherapist, and you think, oh, I'm just going to go to the shop because I still need to get some bread or something. And then you go towards the bakery and then you go like, oh, there's TK Maxx. Let's see, maybe for, whatever reason, because that doesn't happen very often, something is going to be there in my size that I actually really like. And the cute things are not just only XS. So you might just go, okay, I'll go in there and see, before I buy the bread, so I can put the bread on top afterwards. I go and buy the bread afterwards. So you go into that shop, and all of a sudden you're standing in that queue, and everybody's impatient and stressed out because everybody wants to have the few items that are on sale that are still left over, kind of thing. Everybody's scared they might have gone already. So you get that kind of vibe standing in line, and you're totally unprepared for it because you're like all happy because you actually found your piece that you really wanted and you're so happy about it. You go and stand in line in the queue and you're like, na, 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 yeah, I've got a new pair of jeans and they're so cute, yay, for really a low discounted sale price. Yoo-hoo. So, and all of a sudden you go like, why is my mood going down? Hmm. And what's the answer? Of course, the answer is you getting the vibes from everybody else in the queue, right? Who are standing in line with you, all these people. And they might be upset with the one cashier because she's slower than everybody else, than her colleague, and there's only two tills open, and you wonder why they don't open another one just to get the queue moving quicker and on and on and on. So, but you actually, when you approach that queue, you weren't feeling like, oh my God, no, I can't be bothered because, the queue's so long. And like, oh my God, I have to stand in line for such a long time because the queue's so long, blah, stuff like that. No, you were just like, I'm so happy I'm gonna buy my cute new jeans now. And I haven't been so lucky to find something like this in a long time. So today is a day of celebration. And that really actually happened the other day. Actually, yes, today. So it's really fresh, right? And so what I wanted to do was like, I don't want to give in to that negative crap because other people don't feel as happy as I do. So what I'm doing, because I have trained myself because of that, is, I've used the techniques that I can do in public without people noticing. I mean, I will even resort to the stuff that they will notice if I have to, if there's no other way, because I don't give a shit. It's like this is about me and feeling good, and everybody else can go to hell. But we tried the nicer approach. We tried that first. So that was quite easy for me. And, I've done that. And there's even more advanced techniques actually when you can use Reiki as well, because they're even more effective. They work quicker. Um, because when you do it without, of course, it's possible, but you have to train yourself a bit more and you have to keep consistently at it so much that you, to the point that you can automate it. Um, it's just a longer way, you know. But it can totally be done, and I can teach you as well. Isn't that great? I can teach you both because, obviously you need to, have studied Reiki with me for me to be able to teach you those Reiki techniques. But I'm gonna teach you the other techniques as well in my Empowered Empath Masterclass on Thursday at 8 p.m. German time, CEST, Central European time. Um, and that is so wonderful because it's a whole new life. Okay. Um, the reason I say that is it's a really big game changer because a lot of empaths have the problem of going out in crowds and larger groups, and even if they love the people and they had a good time, they feel really drained afterwards. And they're exhausted and they come home and they go to bed and need a good sleep and they might still be lethargic the next day or even for a couple of days after, until they've kind of replenished all their energies. So then it's like you start, when it happens to you consistently, you start scheduling everything that you do around how many people are going to be there, what kind of crowd is going to be there. You might actually decline invitations, even of people that you really like, because it might be your friend's birthday and you really love spending one-on-one time with your friend, but because there's going to be more people there, that might be draining. So you might want to find an excuse to get out of that birthday invitation, for example. So things like that. And that is a reactionary way to live. Okay. And you don't want to do that. You want to have the power to decide, I'm going to go see my friends, I'm going to have fun, and I'm not going to be drained. I'm going to go shopping, and I don't give a shit who else is in that shop and how many people are in that shop and how stressed they are or not. I'm just going to have fun for myself. And you can only do that when you can actually shield your energy. Okay. If you haven't learned how to do that, you basically are going to live in victim mode. And this is just an observation. It's not a judgment or anything. I've been there, done that. And, it's like I didn't even know myself when I first started out in my life and on my spiritual journey. And it took a while to learn all that. And then you kind of neglect and you say, no, yeah, basics kind of thing. So you read all these wonderful esoteric books that are like way up there. You forget the basics, how to apply them into your ordinary life. So you have a lot more resilience and strength and grounding to grow from there into these lofty worlds. Okay. Um, they might sound a bit boring to go back to basics, but I promise you, I really, really promise you with all my heart, it's not boring because you're going to laugh when we do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that aside is going to change your life because you will be so empowered to do what you like to do when you like to do it. There's a whole different world for you rather than having to think about, oh my God, can I rest afterwards? Can I recharge my batteries? Is it really worth doing that? Because I'm going to get drained and things like that. Or I'm going to, my happy mood's going to be broken because I've got like a lot of frustrated, angry, impatient, whatever, sad people around me, things like that. Um, you know, and it's really, really worth it. With a few simple steps, you can really tweak it You just need give yourself a couple of months, try those out, these different techniques, try those out daily, and really keep at it. Make a commitment to yourself and tell yourself, I'm worth it. I'm valuable enough for me to be consistent with this. And then you can keep going. And then you find what works best for you. Because I'm going to give you a broad band of options, and you can pick and choose and mix and match. Okay. So I love to do that because I really find that everybody is different, and what works for one person might not work for the other. Okay. So what you really want to do is keep at that, do it a couple of months consistently, because then you have that training inside you that you can go to a much quicker automation to activate these things, these shields and these protective measures. Okay. And once you've activated them, life is going to be so much easier, so much simpler. And it's really worth doing that for yourself. Okay. And I know a lot of empaths, they care about everybody else and their mother but themselves, and they always put themselves last. But this one is going to be such a game changer for you that it's also going to benefit others, because if you're in a better place, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you get drained, what are you going to do? Scrape on by the skin of your teeth kind of thing, and go down to the gums and go like, oh my God, I can't, but I need to do this for that person and that. No. If you're in a good place and you feel strong and emotionally grounded in yourself, then it's like, oh, let me just do that. No big deal kind of thing. And it really isn't such an effort. It's not half as much of an effort when you do something for yourself or for somebody else that you love, when you feel strong and empowered and in charge of your own life and your own free will, rather than when you go around and feel like, oh my God, I still have to do this, and that person knows that, and I can't turn them down, and I must do this favor, blah, yada, 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 but I don't feel like it, and I'm so tired, and I'm so drained, and that's going to drain me even more. Do you see what kind of self-talk that is that you're constantly giving yourself because of that? And again, no judgment, no accusation. Okay. Saying that with so much love, so much empathy, and so much I've been there myself. And I know that because I've run myself into a massive burnout. And it was so bad, I was actually mentally disabled. I really could not put two sentences together. When somebody told me so two sentences, I couldn't put them in an, cognitively together to really draw out the information what that person was telling me. Just mundane stuff. Like I'm wearing a t-shirt and this t-shirt is red. And if that t-shirt was underneath a jumper and I couldn't see it, I wouldn't have been able to make the connection between the t-shirt and the red color. It was that bad, okay? And I worked myself out of it, and I learned I had to, because I was forced to do that, take care of myself, because I did not have energy for anything or anybody else. Um, I was maybe awake for 6 hours a day, and I used that when my child came home. My youngest was still living at home at the time when it happened. So I used all my available energy just for my child. And it was a really hard time. And I do not wish that on anyone, but it also was an acceleration in learning and in developing myself. So I would love to spare you any more negative experiences. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but don't wait until it goes until something goes down the drain so much that it forces you, like me, stubborn head. And then go on and give yourself those 2 hours to be in that master class with me, have lots of fun, and practice for a couple of months. And I'm still around. You can still contact me, ask me questions, share your experiences, and I'm there. So I won't leave you hanging or anything like that. It's not like you can't contact me after it's done. Because I really deeply care, and I want the best, and I want you to really come away with great value, okay, for your own life and to really get the results. So you might even meet somebody in the group that you want to partner up with, so you can do these exercises together, be as an accountability partner. Um, you might make new friends. That happens, and it's happened before, so that can happen. Um, but really, give yourself that time, give yourself that dedication and that commitment to do that, and I guarantee you, you will feel the difference afterwards. You have to put in the work, though. Okay. You can't just think, oh, I've been in that master class like 6 months ago and let's try this, and then wonder, why isn't it working as well? She said it would. You have to practice, like working your muscles at the gym, or, you know, uh, you can't just get up and run a marathon when you haven't done anything for years. You have to work your way up to it, right? And it's not like you have to run a marathon. It's just like get up and walk, but do that, just run the block, but do that every day for a couple of months and see the difference. Because there is going to be a difference, even if you really just walk literally around the block once every day. And if you go about it that way, and make it fun for yourself and commit to it, then it's going to work for you in a way that is really going to turn your life around in that respect. It's going to give you a lot more confidence. It's going to give you a feeling of empowerment. And I can tell that because, as I said, I've gone through those steps, been there, done that, won the t-shirt, okay? So that is a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And it really gives you so much more inner security, more inner peace. And, and it calms your nervous system as well, if you don't constantly have to worry about what everybody else is feeling, right? So I invite you with all my heart to my masterclass on Thursday night, and I'm going to put the link down below. So you've got it there, and then you can see for yourself. And that masterclass is only 11 euros, and it's going to be a total game changer. So much love from my heart to yours, and I'll see you there. Bye.